our election bus is in Mahikeng in the northwest, just one stop in many leading up to the May 8th poll. Protracted service delivery protests there led to former Premier Supra Mahumapelo resigning in May last year. Those took place just meters away from the Mmabana Arts and Culture Sports Foundation. eNCA anchor Mgambi is in that area for us today. So, Xoli, almost a year since the protest that saw Supra Mahumapelo leave office, how much has changed?
Well, Tembegile, that's exactly what we are going to try and find out from my next guests here. But as you've mentioned, the area of Mmabana, or should I say the center of Mmabana, which is a cultural center here in the northwest, was the scene of running battles back in May of last year. And those running battles with young people in the main at the forefront of that protest essentially protested up until the very moment that the former Premier Supra Mahumapelo saw it fit to leave office. And I'm joined now by Ndate Khositsile Sifularo. He is a former civil servant. He worked for the Northwest Provincial Government. He's now retired. I'm also next to him is Theo Scotch, who is a member of the community here in Mahikeng, but also an unashamed supporter of the governing party. Let's speak to them now. Ndate Khositsile, perhaps let's start with you. How has life changed since the departure of Supra Mahumapelo in Mahikeng, but also the broader Northwest community?
Well, the only difference right now is that there is a lot of calm, but you can still hear the rumbles on the ground.
What are these rumbles? Well,
people are still dissatisfied in terms of how things are going. But I suppose mainly what is happening right now, the focus is more on the elections, and we know that there's also sentiments for the ruling party. And that in itself makes people still to support the ruling party. But it's not that people are happy, because there hasn't been much change since the upheavals.
Okay, so change has not quite happened as such. How do you feel, though, with the new man in charge of this province, Professor Job Mokgoro? Do you feel that he is someone that the community of Northwest can trust, that he can, is his mission, his heart and soul, is it in serving the people of the Northwest?
Well, look, Professor Mokgoro is a premier. Basically, he's a former public servant, you see, and he will know issues of governance and all that. Whether politically is the right person, I'm not too sure, and I don't think so.
Why do you say so?
Because up to now, it doesn't look like he's in charge.
Who's in charge then?
That's the question. We don't know who's in charge right now. We know that the ANC is in charge, and we know that he's supposed to be leading the PEC. But if whether that is the case, that still needs to be confirmed.
Mr. Scotch, let's bring you into the conversation. As a member of the community, are you satisfied with how things are going here since the departure of Supra Mahumapelo? In particular, how do you feel about the issue of service delivery to the community? There are issues of water, the quality of water. People can't drink water, people have to buy water. Potholes. The town of Mahikeng, a whole capital city of the Northwest Province, is synonymous with potholes. I can't even talk about health issues, Mediosa, that scandal. It still lingers in people's minds. How do you feel as a member of the community with regards to the provision of services?
Yeah, well, it's not dwelling well into us as the community of Mahikeng and Northwest at large. We also understand that we had this political transition, which has actually affected the entire service deliveries, as you made mention of the potholes, the water quality, and etc. Now, we are living with hope in our place. We, as my colleague has just said at the moment right now, he made mention of maybe we should give it a political time so that we're stable with administration in the province. So we're really not giving up. We're living with hope at the moment. So we hope that the leading party will actually look into this thing and drastically action has to be taken.
You also, as I introduced you, you are an unashamed supporter of the ANC. How are people supposed to trust this party when you still have a mayor of this very municipality who was at the helm, by the way, when 84 million rand was deposited into VBS, illegally so, because it wasn't allowed to do that. Now that money is gone, service delivery is compromised. How are people supposed to trust this party when you still have that mayor still in charge of this very municipality?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're living with hope. We to keep on changing and changing and changing and changing. You will never know what's going to happen again when you keep on changing things like that. So I think if any person has got a right to be prosecuted, then if he found guilty, maybe during those things, I mean, the law must take its own course. As us, I mean, as you said, it really affects our municipality in the service delivery, whereby you find a lot of money being misdirected, where we wouldn't know where it goes to, where it comes to. Tomorrow is some projects they tend not to be finished, money becomes misdirected and stuff like that. It's a pain for us, and it's a shame for this community.
Dr. Fularo, you get to have the last word. Who do you trust among these parties that are jostling for these elections? They are competing. 48 of them are going to be on the ballot paper. Who do you trust is going to bring about change?
Well, definitely the ANC allies. We have experience, and we know that the mistakes that have happened. It's not about the party per se. It's about the individuals within the party. Those people that...
Dr. Fularo, how are people of Northwest who are right now not getting the services? We have stories of people who have water that is contaminated that come out of the tap. They have to go and buy drinking water. How are people, and it's the same question I've asked Mr. Scotch here, how are people supposed to trust a government, a municipality that is still run by the same mayor who went, or under whose watch monies were sent to VBS? Now those monies can't be recovered.
It was definitely under her watch, but there are people who are accountable as well. You can have the MMC for finance. You can also have the manager of the department of the municipality, who's also an accomplice in this regard, who was not supposed to happen, who knows exactly. There is a legal division that should have advised the mayor accordingly. You see, so what I'm trying to say is that even though we can point fingers at individuals, but we have to take responsibility collectively as the ANC. You see, because, and this is where I'm talking about the experience, that what we have done wrong has to be corrected.
All right, thank you very much for your time, to both of you gentlemen, Mr. Fularo and Mr. Scotch, for having given us your time. Well, Thembekile, that's the sentiment here, and you clearly have two fervent supporters of the ANC. They still believe that the party still has some currency. But it remains to be seen whether that is going to translate into the ballot box come May 8. Importantly, Thembekile, I'm going to have a conversation with the young people later on in the evening, and we're going to be gauging their sentiment as to who do they believe in as far as a party that can take this province forward.
eNCA anchor Kodim Gambi, for now, thank you.